I know that term from the rap world, like based, but I didn't know what based means. But I've heard it used a bunch of times, and it's always a positive. Based is all about being yourself and not caring about what anybody else thinks. I don't care. I'm based.
Petty for president, racing and leverage and facing competitors. I'm not the regular petty for president. You are not ready yet, serve and I represent. Trust me with all respect, petty for president. Move unprotected, yes, no losing delegates. Seats in my homies, man's petty for president. Black me my leather, yes, no speech impediment. TV like Letterman, petty on podium.
All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody to
What is
Base
happening?
Talk, the number one.
I'm so sorry. Already having a hair malfunction. Continue.
Base Talk is happening. The number one source for dangerous misinformation. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We had to do a round two. Emily, how you doing?
Hi, guys. Very good.
Appreciate you coming back. A couple formalities, pay a couple bills. This episode is sponsored by LordPetty.com. Go get yourself some swag. Go check out my book. I'm going to have all those links in the description. And we got a great show ahead of us. We're going to try to make sense of some of the because I can't swear in the first minute of this video because YouTube doesn't like funny people.
Just the first minute?
Yeah, it's something in the first, maybe it's the first, I don't know the rules about anything.
Okay, I'll try to.
Here's the thing about when I'm talking is I usually don't know what I'm talking about. And our wonderful producer Solomon is flashing 10. So I'm going to trust him because
Okay.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So how you been since the last time I saw you?
Oh my God, I was literally about to swear. I can't.
You can do it.
I
It's
literally
okay.
have Tourette's.
Let it fly. Fuck shit. Piss
same-
ass.
I was
Screw
like,
it.
same stuff, different day.
Yeah.
A lot's been going on. Not in my world, just in the world.
Yeah.
Pretty much on the page where I'm just like, I think I was trying to understand it, and now I'm like, oh, it's insane. Everyone's clinically insane. And now you just have to laugh. And everyone I've spoken to that I like in our little world,
Yeah.
they're 100% on my page, and I'm so happy. They're like, dude, there's nothing we can do. Sit back, let it burn, and like just enjoy your life as much as you can. And I'm like, you know what? Good. I'm glad we finally are all circling back to like nothing really matters.
Right.
Let's just have fun.
Yeah, and so the conversation we had last time really stuck with me about just that it might actually be a jealousy thing that we aren't part of the occult. You know, and I've really
I agree.
you had that face like, wait, you are part of the occult? I thought I was getting left out for a second.
Oh no, I'm with you.
And that you just got to enjoy the world kind of burning. But I do want to talk about our former savior, Jesus, because
Is it ye? Is it yay?
it's Kanye fucking West.
Okay.
His mother would be very disappointed with him, and she was a great lady.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I was playing his music all last night. It's so good. He's so talented.
he is.
You can be talented and insane too.
Somebody,
saying.
Andrew Schultz had a very good comparison. Because do you know anything about music production at all?
I know nothing
So, I mean,
about anything.
so the type of music that he was making, it's called sample-based music, typically, like College Dropout. So he would take little pieces of other people's music, a soul record, and take the drums off a jazz record. And basically,
Okay.
you take little pieces and you throw them all together. So Andrew Schultz was saying that Kanye is just doing that with right-wing ideology right now.
Okay.
Like, he's not smart enough to formulate his own thoughts, but he's
Okay.
taking all these different little pieces and he's surrounding himself with fucking lunatics at this
Yeah.
point. And it is, you can tell he means well, right? You can
Yeah.
tell he means well in his heart, but he's just surrounding himself with fucking lunatics.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's like maybe the older I get, or maybe just the fact that like I think it's really good to just maybe like stop once in a while and reflect on like how lucky we are. And I'm just trying to have a more positive mindset. I think I was just such a negative person my whole life, and it was like honestly just coming from a place of just being a fucking brat and like not realizing how good we have it. But it's like, I don't know why everyone is like, I posted about it, like everyone's so angry all the time. And I'm like, I don't know why I look at people now. I don't really, I just don't really feel anger. I just think people are so interesting. That's what I mean. It's
Right.
like love and hate operate on the same frequency. Okay.
Right.
So all
Thin
these
line.
people just losing their mind, hating on him 24/7. It's like you can choose what you put out into the world. I think I think he knows a lot of things that I'd like to hear. I'd like to listen to him speak more.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone banned on anything. I think it's crazy, especially it's like, okay, Elon Musk just took him off. And I'm like, don't you have like active Taliban members on? Don't you have people like tweeting me like death threats and saying they're going to like rape my dead body and like that's perfectly acceptable. But I don't know. Elon's a whole nother story. But like, I just think he's fascinating and I want to hear what he has to say. And the hate towards him, like people are like, people like lose their minds. They're just like, oh, so you just like Nazis. And I'm just like, no, I just think he's interesting. I don't hate people I don't know. I think that makes you really odd.
Right.
You don't hate him? No, I don't. I don't really care. He's not coming over to like Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you think
I wish he was. It would be incredible, and the Wilsons welcome you with open arms across the board.
Which reminds me, I kind of want to ask about some of your without getting too private, about some of your family dynamics with your points of views here in a little bit. But do you also think that it's kind of gotten to a point with him where we are exploiting this, where I don't want to talk some bad shit into the universe, but if Kanye offed himself next year, I wouldn't be surprised. He's gone down, like, where do you don't, it's like.
Oh, no, he went, that's the only thing. Now I'm like sitting back because I'm like, ooh, you went into the realm that I know people don't really come back from.
Right.
And that makes me a little bit nervous. And I don't want anything bad to ever happen to anyone. And I want to protect people at all costs. But it's the same thing, like, and like God, it's so sad the way, it's interesting, like, what last year, like everyone loved him. Everyone's listening to his music. You're all wearing his sneakers. And it's so crazy how in like 24 hours, they can just demonize someone.
Right.
And like now it's like people are like, I mean, even like my friends are like, I want him dead. And I'm like, that's so crazy to me.
I feel like he needs help right now.
He needs help. Well, he also chose to surround himself with like the gnarliest group of people. But don't you think, okay, granted, this is like where the conspiracy stuff comes in. I don't think anything is a coincidence. Something big, I think a lot of big things are happening in the world right now. There's an energy shift that's happening that's like crazy and I feel it. That's why I'm kind of like sitting back and watching everything. But with him, I feel like this is planned and we're taking the bait so hard right now. And I'm just so curious to see what's next.
See, and I get conflicted. Because on one hand, I feel like you should let everybody talk, even if they're saying the most terrible, vile things.
Well, I think that no matter what, my opinion on that will never change.
But he, being the person that he is, I feel like other people are going to exploit him for clicks with that message of free speech in mind.
Oh, 100%.
So I think we're dealing with the mental health of an individual who's given us a lot of good stuff, a lot of great memories, a lot of Kanye's been around, we love Kanye in our hearts, right?
Yeah.
But so I think people are using the free speech argument, which I'm all for free speech.
Yeah.
I'm conflicted is what I'm trying to say.
No, I think ironically, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's going through some wild shit right now. And he has probably seen and been through an insane amount of things none of us, I don't think we can relate to. We're just not going to have his life and we never will. But also it's like, God, I want to take him and like just go up like Coldwater Canyon and sit in a beautiful home and like have like tea and talk, as stupid as that sounds, because I wish I could like do something. I just don't have the hatred everyone else has. I don't know if it's getting older. I think when we get older, we get softer as like people, or you just become fucking crazy. I don't know. But like, I just don't get angry at things anymore. Like I'm at the point where I'm like, I want to speak to everyone, have conversations with everyone. I don't care if it's Biden, Obama, AOC, the Taliban. I'm like, I just don't even feel like hatred towards people anymore, except for like hating everyone equally. That's a little bit different.
Right.
But I don't know him. I just think it's so interesting, but it has to be, there's something happening. I think it has to be planned and they're smart. Like, okay, my dad's 80 years old and we're walking my dog 2 nights ago, right? 80 years old. He goes, wow, this Nick Fuentes kid. And I'm like, I love that my dad like knows, like, first of all, where's my dad even like seeing these things and hearing it? And then he's like, you know what's interesting? He's like, in 24 hours, the entire world knows who you are. And I think coming from like how he grew up, that must be so insane to see now. Like I could literally just go on YouTube and just say the most offensive things in the world and I could just blow up overnight.
Let's try it.
Let's
try it right now.
I mean, we do. Like, let's be real. Like we say, a lot of things I think are more shocking and more offensive, even though it's really just true.
Drop a bomb on it, Flex.
But it's like kind of crazy. You can just say things and then put yourself so deep into this world. Like everyone knows who you are.
And like I said, I'm not trying to like expose any of your,
I don't care. I'm very open.
So does your family, do they know about your involvement in like the media space and kind of your beliefs and stuff? Like, does it ever?
Yeah, they literally don't care at all.
They don't care at all?
They literally don't care.
Like, as in they don't care. what you're saying, or they don't care that you're saying anything at all?
I think my dad. Okay, my dad is like my number one fan, my best friend. He loves it. He loves this shit. He like wants to see every clip, everything I'm in, whatever. The rest of my family like doesn't care. They're just like, okay, you just have opinions and say things.
I think, because
I think they think I'm fucking crazy.
on the last episode, you talked a lot about your disdain for modern feminism and, bitches
Yes,
just being
always.
trash and whatnot. Do you think your close relationship with your dad has been very influential in kind of your mindset and how you see the world?
Yeah, I think first of all, I think when you grow up and you have a man that you look up to and respect, it makes you just have better relationships with men because all my girlfriends that have like fucked up dads or dads that left or all these different things. It's like naturally you're going to think that that's every man. Do you know what I mean? And like
yeah.
I'm so thankful for that and I have so many good relationships with so many men and my brothers and my dad and like all these things. So I feel very thankful, but I'm like then it's like I would say that like everyone has issues. Like for me it's like I don't know, I probably have like more like mommy issues. Like I seem to not get along with women as easy, women as well. I don't feel as understood by them. Everyone's got their own shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the feminism thing, I think a huge part of it is my father being present, my father being in the household. And also, like, as a female, you kind of think, like, when you're interacting with men, you're like, okay, I'm like someone's daughter.
Yeah.
I think you always have that in the back of your mind.
Well, I think a lot of, it's kind of a general blanket statement, but I think a lot of women don't because it's an empowering thing to go against this patriarchy, which a lot of times the patriarchy is just trying to protect women.
Yeah.
It's like they say the only thing that's going to stop nobody is no. Well, of course, there's rapists, right? There's terrible people. We should put them down like dogs.
Yeah.
But so if you tell your daughter, hey, you should not walk through dark alleyways, you should not put yourself in dangerous situations, that doesn't mean that he is pro-rape or saying that it's okay. He's just saying that should exist and
trying
you're caring
to give you
about
tools
right
to help you because they care. The same way a lot of things that were put into our institutions is to protect us. The same way, like, you shouldn't have a man in the bathroom with me because by nature, I'm just more vulnerable. We're supposed to be. That's also what makes us feminine. And it's like funny the more I like read about feminism and all this stuff, which it's funny because people are really starting to come around. I posted on my Instagram, I was like, about how like basically being a beautiful female is like being a very, very wealthy man.
right
And it's so funny because every single girl that I know that's like smart, attractive, responded and was like, yeah, babe, none of us want to work. Like we do it because we have to.
Yeah, who does?
None of my girlfriends, none want to work. We do it because we literally have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys had it so easy. You could have just been at home baking pies and gossiping. And
that's all I think about when I'm sitting in my office.
The fem-Nazis came around and had to rah, rah, rah. Now all you girls have to go out and work just like I do.
Also, feminists are just the meanest people. Like, dude, okay, I have like a rule, which is funny. It's like I post and then I'm like off. I don't read comments because they are so gnarly. But women go the hardest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like a lot of my like hate mail because it's really like funny. Once in a while, like I'll post it, like the one I posted that was like, hey, how many abortions have you had? Like, why don't you go kill yourself? And I'm like, see, those are funny.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, women just go so hard on me. 9 paragraphs. It's like, where's your man, bitch? Where's your kids? Where's all these things you preach? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I can preach things that I want that I don't already have, in case you guys like didn't know that.
So you're saying you're getting well, hold on. I want to bring it back to one point really quick. So we'll talk about how hateful the feminists are in a little bit because that's definitely a topic I want to get into. But so you were talking about having dudes in the restroom and kind of and I don't want to shit on trans people. This is my memo here. But there was an instance recently where it was the gay club got shot up, right?
Yeah.
And so the person's sitting in prison now. And the defense attorneys came out and said, no, they are non-binary. So this wipes it of being a hate crime.
Yeah. So now it's just perfectly.
So
okay.
So this opens up the whole can of worms about if somebody can pretend to be a they, them to avoid a death sentence, you think a creep wouldn't pretend to be a woman to get in the women's bathroom? Fuck out of here.
The same way women are getting raped by men in prison that claim to be trans.
And this is the big problem. If somebody This is very blunt, but if somebody chops their shit off, you're a woman to me, right? If you're some dude running around with a dick, like, I don't want you in the restroom with my daughters and shit. Like,
Which is like, by the way, the first video I ever made on my Instagram that went viral of people telling me to kill myself was the Wii Spot incident, which I would like to say, I wiped my whole Instagram. All I did was post a video giving my opinion on the Wii Spot incident.
what is that?
It was like in K-Town. I mean, it's been so long now, so I'm not going to like, don't fucking come for me for all the facts, but it was in K-Town. And I think a mother was there with her very young daughter, I think around 6. And there was a man who claimed to be trans, who obviously wasn't. That was like exposing himself near the child and had like a boner. And so like anyone with a brain like me was like, okay, that's a pedophile. He should be taken outside and he should be like beat and arrested. And that was what I posted that. Everyone was like, you are anti-gay, anti-trans, blah, blah. And the craziest part about it is when they're doing the interview, this woman who's just like completely just a normal person with a brain is like, yeah, I was not okay with it. He has dick out next to a little girl and that's disgusting. And then of course you see a fucking white hipster guy come over and being like, you're like, you shouldn't say those things to the woman. And the woman's like, what are you talking about? Long story short, that guy ended up having a rap sheet of many things, including, you know, having to do with sexualizing little children and pedophilia and all those things. And it's funny because when you're right about things, they never mention it. The same way, like first they wanted to just be like, oh, it's a right-wing white QAnon supporter because that's every crime apparently. Until you look up the fucking photos of crime statistics, then you're like, it doesn't really fit the narrative for everything.
You know, it's funny because you're talking about how you get shit on the hardest by women. As soon as you said white hipster guy, my blood just started boiling. And I think that's something inherently within humans where we actually hate our own kind the most, where we go after our own the most.
No, the worst group of people on earth that are the worst to me. Okay. White women in their, say 40s that are like, for sure, lib or Democrat, which by the way, you guys statistically are ruining America. So congrats. I saw the way you guys vote and you're the fucking worst. But they're the worst group of people during COVID when I was just like,
it's because nobody's trying to fuck them anymore.
No, that's
they need
the
that
thing.
attention.
They're so mean and they're so bitter. And it's like, dude, when I'm hiking and I have my little outfits on, I'm like feeling myself, the looks and then the negativity and like when I wasn't wearing a mask, like it's always those women that are so fucking awful. Literally one of the worst groups of people on earth. And I'm probably going to be in that category eventually myself. But at least I can, you know, say I had some good years behind me, but they are the fucking worst. I'm like, you need to like do something.
Yeah.
So bitter. You see it. They're like tense. They like tense up. Just like, just upset about everything.
I mean, I don't have that experience with old snobby ladies as much, maybe just because I don't. Like I said, I think we
Well,
recognize.
it's just the jealousy factor.
Well, and I think we recognize things we hate in our own kind the most. So it's like when I'm in a room with a bunch of dudes in their, you know, mid-20s to mid-30s, there's this automatic, everybody's eyeballing each other. Like, okay, what the fuck does this guy do? Like, what girls he? There's like this weird competition thing. And you look at it like street gangs, everybody's killing people that looks like themselves. Women are all bickering with women. So we see the things that
we're fighting with ourselves.
We're all fighting with ourselves.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes this big ball of fuckery in the end where I think the people on the left, the people that pretend to be so loving and tolerant.
Yeah, well, they're obviously the worst ones.
They're the worst ones because they're not aware of it. It's like Jordan Peterson talks about the dark or the shadow side. Yeah. You know, like you have to be aware of these things.
Yeah.
Like you can't be a good person unless you know you could be a bad person. Like some 90-pound, 5-foot dude who, I don't know, couldn't hurt a fly. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm a good person because I'm not out here killing people because you don't have that. You know what I mean?
Also, sometimes you have to do a lot of evil to have some good things happen.
What's the most evil thing? And I'm just kidding.
You're like, so like, what do you think though? No, I mean, I don't know. That's the whole reason I think why I flocked more to like right-wing politics was just like every single person on the left was like love and tolerance. And then I was like, okay, well, I voted for Donald Trump. And they're like, you should fucking kill yourself, get raped in an alley, you sick white bitch. And I was like, oh, that's a little gnarly.
That's a very hateful response.
And you know what's gnarly too is like, okay, I would wear MAGA hats hiking all through COVID. And I'm not going to lie, 50% of it just to troll.
I was just going to ask if you kind of had
because watching people have meltdowns over a inanimate object is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, so there's layers to this. So for them, it's what it represents. To some people, it's like you're wearing a KKK hat or something
Yeah.
like that.
No,
Because
I
they're
get
so
it.
because they're so media brainwashed.
Yeah.
And so it's not really their fault, but it is. You're an adult. Do your research.
Well,
you know?
that's the thing. We need to start having a little bit more responsibility. You having a fucking meltdown, shitting your pants on a hiking trail because someone has a hat you don't like is you have like a severe mental illness. But it was always the liberal white women in Los Feliz. Like, I'm sure they have really hard lives. They're hiking at 2 p.m., walking down me, literally stopping, like just like losing their minds. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you have this much energy?
Calling you a xenophobe from behind their
It's-
gated community.
Yeah, like in their like Tesla, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh God, I just don't understand. Like I said, I'm just circle back. I don't care.
It's just sad because a lot of people assume you can trust the media. So
Okay, who the fuck thinks that now?
a lot of people. So for
the
instance,
media said Larry Elder was the face of white supremacy. Once you see shit
But-
like that, don't you kind of just go,
but
what's
it's
going on here?
you know how
Lovely man, by the way.
You know
Shout
how
out.
some people are into cars, some people are into whatever the fuck they're into, right? You and I and the group of people that we associate with and whatnot, we're into, I don't want to say truth, it sounds so corny, but it's an interest, right? It's almost like a hobby to find like,
No,
okay,
I think it's seeking knowledge
okay, maybe that's
and
a better way.
truth.
Maybe that's a better way.
because I think knowledge and truth go a little hand in hand. You
Some-
would hope.
some people just don't care. Some people
Oh,
don't want to know.
most
They don't
people.
care. That's why, like, I don't like fantasy movies. I don't like Star Wars and shit. I don't like Lord of the Rings and shit. Like, what's a lie? I watched Lord of the Rings and I was trying to nerd out on it.
Yeah.
But I don't like all this fantasy shit. It doesn't interest me because I'm not gonna like crack anything about the human experience. You know.
Very true.
Some people want nothing to do with reality. They want to live in fantasy, and so
Yeah.
acknowledging the fuckery of the world just isn't even on their radar. So for them, they don't look deeper than they say, okay, well, this is the news. Whatever's coming out of this TV, it's the news. That's what it's for. The same way if I want to watch LeBron highlights, I turn on ESPN.
Yeah.
If I want to see what's going on in the world, I turn on CNN or what the fuck else, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can't. You should hold it against them, but you can't, if that makes sense.
Well, my thing, I just go, if you just want to live in that state of insanity, then go for it. I can't control how you react to what I do, but at the same time, you just have to look at them and like, I just laugh.
Right.
Like when people have meltdowns around me, I just go, okay. It's the same way when people like send me hate mail. I'm like, I don't even open it, don't read it. I'm like, I don't even care what most of my family members think. You think I'm gonna give a fuck what a stranger thinks about me? That's
Yeah.
why all the shit with like Kanye, like I watch, dude, people I love around me having meltdowns. And I'm not gonna lie, it's like, I'm like, I put his music on in the car. And like, I'm sure if I did that with a lot of my friends right now, they would have a meltdown. And I'm like, I don't have his like, you know, like dick in my mouth as I'm like jerking him off, being like, everything you say is correct. It's like, I just think he's interesting. I think all people are interesting. I want to hear what they have to say. And the older I get, I'm just genuinely more open-minded to everyone. Like the only reason I want to get into social media and podcasting is all these things like to speak to people. The quest for truth, the quest for knowledge. People, I guess, are very drawn to those things. Other people aren't. Great. Live in fucking whatever fantasy world you're in. That's fine. This world's probably a little bit tougher. You're probably safer in that one. Enjoy it. But I'm just at the point where I'm like, I see all these people in the media, in the meltdowns, cancel them, take them. Like the fact that Andrew Tate has to come out every day and be like, I'm very happy, I'm not going to kill myself is very scary. And I'm also like, these people aren't dumb. Everything going on with Milo, Nick, and all them, I'm like, I know they're doing something. But I'm not going to lie. Now I'm kind of on the side where I'm like, what's up with Elon? I'm getting
What do you
kind
mean?
of lizard energy from
You get
him.
lizard energy?
My friend said something yesterday and it was a good point. He was like, what if he took Twitter, made it all free speech, as we blatantly expose ourselves? Because everyone who's like right wing or conspiracy or any of these things, like we now have a platform to talk where they can literally target all of us and pick all of us out, which is kind of interesting. And you just hooked up your credit card to Twitter.
Oh no.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh man. Well,
Is that not the digital current, like what is it? Not digital currency, like credit system? Isn't that kind of what everyone talks about? What is it? Yeah, because now it's like, dude, you pay and you hook it up. That's crazy. Other apps don't do that.
yeah, I don't know. And I have no, this is my,
I just don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like him because sorry, that's stupid. I don't care. I'm neutral. It's just the whole free speech thing, not bringing back Alex Jones, not bringing back a lot of people. And, you know, but you have like Kathy Griffith who like has like Trump's fucking head bleeding and that's perfectly acceptable. You're either for free speech or you're not. Bottom line, he really isn't. He's not actually for it. He's not bringing these people back.
What did Kanye actually do? Was it he posted a swastika? Is that right?
I don't fucking know. Maybe. Sure.
Because yeah, I'm not sure why he got.
Like I
nuked,
said,
but
I don't care.
I think Elon, for the most part, he means well, and you can't always. Whenever something happens like that, I mean, sure, he should bring Alex Jones back.
Yeah.
I think he means well for the most part. And you can't please everybody at all
Of
times.
course.
That's how I like to think about it. I got in a big argument with my sister last night about Elon Musk, and so my sister is a very intelligent, educated, high up in corporate. Yeah, so she's kind of disconnected from the things that I care about, right? And so
You're like, so she's a life and a job. So
Yeah.
she's going to have like a successful career, a happy family. She's not going to be like in fucking getting like raiding the Capitol next year. Okay. Yeah.
exactly.
Continue.
So yeah, she doesn't enjoy just spreading dangerous misinformation
Yeah.
all day. And so she made a remark about Elon. Well, I said, oh, Elon is exposing everything on Twitter. He's exposing all this, election meddling coming from Twitter about them hiding which is huge. It's Watergate 2.0, and not a single news source is talking about it this morning.
That's what's so crazy. It should be so big right now.
And that's what I was talking about, the people where they look at whatever's on the news is the thing going on, but there's always, you hear terms like shadow government, and not everything that meets the eye is what you see. When you're watching a basketball game, they're running a play that the coach concocted, but you're seeing the guy run around with the ball. That's not all that went into it. So people don't understand there's always something and somebody above whatever's meeting the eye. But so my sister made a remark that she's just like, oh, I wish they would just blow Elon Musk off the planet and I'll never have to hear from him again. And I asked her, just because I've asked people on Twitter, nobody can ever give me a straight answer.
Yeah.
And I just asked her, like, why do you hate him?
Yeah. What do you not? I'm so curious. When you don't like someone, what do you not like about him?
Well, so what it came down to, it kind of, because my sister's very, and I'm not trashing my sister by any means,
Yeah.
but my sister's very pro-feminine. She just doesn't have like blue hair and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
She still wants to actually attract a husband.
she has a husband.
Oh, well,
And
there
my
you
sister,
go.
Yeah, my sister's really cool. I'm really close to my sister, but she's, by definition, a feminist, right?
Yeah.
And so Elon Musk has been dragged through the mud about, I guess he scientifically engineered something to where he only has boys. Are you familiar with this?
No.
And
Nothing
so I guess
surprises me anymore.
So I guess this is a big, misogynistic thing about tampering with, but then so I kind of asked, well,
Who gives a shit? Let him have 19 boys.
I compared it to the abortion thing. It's like, okay,
You fight for the right to kill babies. Why can't he birth 9 boys?
right. And so it's kind of the same argument. So we basically settled on that she just doesn't like his personality, that she thinks he's arrogant. I was like, that's fine.
Oh,
That's
well,
fine.
I'm sure he's not going to sleep tonight.
Right. Like, and
that's the weirdest.
but so-
Okay.
But so where I'm going with this is, I wish people, if you don't like somebody, just say you don't like them. Just say, I don't like their personality. That's fine. But then when it comes down to the issues, when it comes down to voting, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shut up. Because you have no idea.
Just tap out when you don't know. I tap out when I don't know.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to, if I don't like a salesperson, I'm not going to buy the car. I mean, doesn't mean I knew anything about the mechanics of the car.
Yeah.
It's not like I took the car to the shop and said, oh, that's got bad brakes. The belt's going to fly off.
Well,
No, I
can
just
we,
didn't like the fucker trying to sell it.
Can we also promote like not having to hate people? Like everything
I
with
love hating people.
I know, me too. But like I
kidding.
I save it for when it's fun
Yeah.
and we get to shit on everyone. Like
Yeah.
when people do dumb shit, you just get to like literally just tear them apart online. It's like the funniest thing ever. Like watching like fucking whoever tweets for Biden just get his butthole ripped open in the comments every day is like the funniest thing in the world to me. But it's just like that's the thing. I'm like, do I like I don't need to like hate Kanye West. I don't even need to have an opinion. I can just simply carry on with my day. I can not agree with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, I just call them normal people, whatever. I look at everyone now and I'm like, are you telling me that you would not want to sit in a room and have a conversation with Milo, Nick, Kanye, Trump, anyone? I'm like, really? You have to be so low IQ to me to not want to be in a room with these people and speak to them. I don't care if you say the worst things in the world. I want to be around I mean, they obviously know some shit and I want to know that too. But it's like, you're really? We'd be like, I hate him. Wish he was dead.
Right. I would
You
love
don't want to talk to him? I'd be so curious.
I would love to sit down and talk to an AOC or somebody like that.
Oh, I would love when there's like no one standing behind her, like no cameras on. I would love to like know who these people really are because
Yeah.
I know they're such actors and they're so full of shit. But here's the crazy thing. I'm finally getting all the way to the point of like maturing where I'm like, I don't know, maybe AOC's like kind of a down bitch and I might like her. Maybe she's just trying to get money like everyone else, survive in this
Right,
stupid
she's doing a
world.
job.
And like realistically, it's like, dude, when you do sales, you're lying.
Right.
You're a politician. You're lying.
Right.
You work in a fucking restaurant. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's the best salmon you're ever gonna have. Are we all just paid liars? And the same way we're all selling a piece of our soul, a piece of our integrity. I mean, that's what acting is. That's what modeling is. That's what all these things, you're literally selling yourself. And I'm like, can we get to the point where like, we're not just like hating people we literally don't know? Like, dude, if AOC like, you know, fucking threw a drink on me at a bar, then I'd be like, fuck that bitch. But like technically right now, I don't actually have a reason to hate her. I don't know her.
I don't hate any of them. Honestly, I feel
That's
like
how I feel now. I'm kind of just like over it.
yeah, I feel like a big idiot not aligning with them because they clearly get away with everything. It's like, why the fuck am I like? Why don't I just go fall? I think about this with the
They're
right.
kind of like the smarter party, unfortunately,
Well, but
just because they get away with more.
Or I look at somebody like a DC, like even on the right, I look at like a DC Drano. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
And so I have no problems with the guy. Like his
Yeah.
whole camp, they've only ever been really cool to me. But I don't want to shit on him. But there's just pandering from both sides where no matter what's going on, and I'm like, I could do that. I'm a tall white guy. I still have a little bit of hair left. I could go pander and talk shit and just
Yeah.
pretend, oh, I'm this ultra conservative. Like
Yeah.
I could walk the party lines and I'd probably be 5 times bigger than I am and make
Yeah.
a ton of money. But I just can't do it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you think like I couldn't go to Fox News and be like, I will say anything you tell me and have a thriving career? Of course I could.
I would literally, my brain would explode if
But
I
I would have
lie
a
that
meltdown
much.
live on TV and it would be awesome. Also, I should have just done that. I
Yeah.
would have been more famous and got more clout for just being like, you know what? Fuck the lizard people. Fuck you guys. Fuck Fox News. And I'll be like, fuck it all. Shit sucks, and just walk off the stage. I should have just done something like that. They'll never touch me now, but that's okay. God forbid you're pro-choice on any of those fucking networks.
Did you see? Well, I know you did. It's a rhetorical question. This is my showbiz coming up. We're going to keep it real.
Yeah.
The Tim Pool
Oh,
interview.
yeah. With Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a very funny video or tweet. I can't remember. Something came
Oh, yeah.
from you when you just wanted him to shut the fuck up.
Oh, here's the thing. Because I watch as much stuff as I can. Really, I'm just trying to get information. I'm not like politically aligning with everyone. I watch it because they're talking about what's going on. So I watch his show sometimes. At this point, I'm just trying to put comedy on so my brain doesn't explode. But it was so funny because he's so into just being like, lately I feel like a good person on the right side and blah, blah. And I was like, dude, you have Kanye, Nick, and Milo in a room. Everyone knows your opinion. Can you just shut the fuck up?
Right.
He's like, well, we're going to have banter. No one cares what you have to say. Tim, whatever the fuck his name is,
Do you-
no one cares.
Do you think he's kind of happy he swerved the Kanye talking about Nazis?
Like, here's the thing. What do you, like, congrats. You won. You did the right thing. You ruined what could have been so epic, which, no offense, would have been the coolest thing you're obviously probably ever going to produce realistically. But I was like, you couldn't just shut up? No one cares what you have to say.
But what I'm saying, so that day, I'm sure that day he was like, oh, I should have shut the fuck up. But then the next day when
for
he
sure.
saw Kanye with the fly swatter sitting there with Alex Jones talking about Hitler was a good guy, do you think Tim Pool was sitting there for a minute and going like, oh, thank God I don't have to moderate this?
Probably. Because I think he's so in the middle that, like, he was probably like, thank God. But I just was like, bro, why are you talking to him like he's some basic ass dude? Literally shut your mouth. You're not even you're not interesting. I want to hear everything he has to say.
Yeah.
Why would you throw away that moment? Also, him on Alex Jones is fucking wild. That literally everyone's like, that's gonna be one of the craziest videos. Everyone's like, download it, save it. It is what it is. Like I said, I don't know what he's doing, but they're up to something. They're always up to something. We're just all taking the bait.
And you didn't know what's his name? Nick Fuentes, is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know who he was either, right?
I do know of him. I just don't know a lot about him. I just know of him.
So I don't want to, burn too much time talking about this guy, but I just never heard of him. So what's his deal? How did he become any sort of way prominent?
That's the thing. I'm like the worst person to ask.
Okay.
I don't know. I just assume he's just some fucking super alt-right kid. I think everyone's like, oh, he said the Holocaust didn't happen. Then of course you like look and it's like he was like reading something like never really said. It's just like one of those things.
So was he tied in? He was probably tied in with.
I don't know
Milo
what he
somehow.
does.
Let's
what his
spread
deal
some
is.
misinformation.
Yeah,
Nick
I don't
Fuentes
know.
was tied in with Milo Yiannopoulos or
That's
whatever
the
his
thing
name
though.
is.
I'm just like, I want to be in a room with all these people. I want to talk to all these people. I think they're all interesting.
So that brings up a point where because I feel like I know what they would say.
What
At
would they
this-
say?
I mean, pretty much the same shit we're talking about, right? We
Yeah.
we understand that the left is corrupt. We've seen it. We have our proof.
Yes.
So I've been struggling in my personal journey.
In my self journey.
I've been because I think, okay, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
What do I explore? Because I've been red pilled in the dating world. I know all that's bullshit. I've
Yep.
been financially red pilled. I know the
Yep.
finance world is bullshit. Politically, I've been red pilled. I know all that's
All
bullshit.
that's bullshit.
And so it's like, where do I go mentally from here? And I think that's kind of what's happened to Kanye, where he's just turned into a complete nut job. So I need to find a hobby. I need to start playing volleyball. Or
I was
some
gonna
shit
say,
like that.
I think he's just the epitome of when you know too much, it's actually not good. That's why I think I like have a healthy balance of like, I like have a normal job. I go to work and then I do things, but like there's so many things like I love to do. Like, dude, it's like go fucking walk on the beach and go on a hike and read a book. Like there's so many things you can do. We're so lucky. That's why like for me, my goal is to work in politics locally. To me, my city matters, and that's like my goal. And it's like also we should be exposing these people because they actually affect our lives. These people in California
Yeah.
genuinely affect our lives and put us in danger. So that's what I'm focusing on because I think that's a positive thing to focus on. The rest of it's so wild. I'm simply educating myself because maybe if I'm going to have kids one day, I'm going to red pill those little future shitheads.
Just right off the rip.
They just immediately
They're
come
like-
out. And I'm just
they're
playing
like-
Alex Jones in like their cribs every night. But it's just like, I just think you do need a balance though. You need balance. But aren't we, I think people like you and me though, we're just like seeking knowledge. That's what I mean. The older I get, I thought I would be shittier and more hateful, more bitter, more opinionated. I'm just getting so chill. Like the videos we post, like, dude, I've never read the comments. Do you read them?
I dabble and I like to argue with people. That's the
First of all, I
comedian
make
in me.
one comment about fucking Russia, and all of a sudden, everyone is like a geopolitical strategist.
I knew that was going to be
Everyone
a
with the
nuclear
5
bomb.
followers is like, this is actually what you don't know about Russia, you stupid bitch. And you're just like, oh, I'm sure you know everything.
Have you seen the YouTube comments about that?
No.
Oh, they're pretty good. I'll send them to
Are
you.
they good?
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't care. I don't care if you think I'm dumb. I might be, and it doesn't matter. But like, dude, I was just like, I went to look and I was like, nope, no way, not reading. That's my policy. I don't read it.
Do you not read them because it might have some sort of effect on you and you might
I'm
not-
too far past that.
Yeah. Because
I'm-
I don't care. I legitimately enjoy it. Like, I'm a sicko.
That's what I was gonna
legitimately-
say. I don't
Yeah.
want to get that high. I think it's so unhealthy and it's so bad. And like, I think one time there was the video of me from Channel 5 that went viral when I was holding a sign that said I smoke crack with Hunter Biden.
Yeah,
And
that's how I found you.
there you go.
Yeah.
That has about 7,000
Came
comments.
full circle.
There's about 7,000 comments about every single thing physically wrong with me and why I should kill myself. And I think I cried to my dad. And then honestly, after that, I never cared again because I was like,
It set the bar.
it's just so funny to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just refuse to take in that energy. Like when you're reading things, you are taking in energy. So you do need to be slightly careful.
Yeah, that is, I'm reading this book right now. It's about like quantum physics and all this like energy
Okay.
shield shit and all that. Like
Should
I'm said,
feel.
I've ran out of information. I can't read anything more about the female brain.
Yeah.
I can't read anything more about politics.
There's nothing there.
So I'm trying to dive into these subjects because it's like smoking crack.
Yeah.
You know, you like always, or some people just, I don't know, maybe I'm on the spectrum or some shit. I don't know.
That's how I feel.
It's definitely a possibility because if there's really loud music, like I went to this car show and they were just blasting super loud music through this speaker, and I was just like,
I
"Ugh."
can't. It makes me want to have a panic attack.
Yeah, I had to go.
Unless I'm like drunk in a club, loud music, I'm like, I want to have a panic attack. I don't really listen to music much anymore.
Neither do
Just
I.
Podcasts and
Yeah.
people talking.
Yeah, music. It's either somebody bragging about some shit
Yeah.
I want, or some pussy crying about some girl he can't have.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
just
really-
not even good anymore. I like
Yeah.
old 90s, and like other than that, I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
When music used to be good and people had talent, and then the
But
government would kill them and be, a little bit more low key about it.
But then again, I think the older people, when our music, so somebody that was 40 in the 90s was like, what is this Nirvana bullshit? It all sounds the same. He's only playing 3 chords. You know?
It's so, dude, okay, that's what we were talking about too. We were like, oh, isn't it crazy how like everyone that like goes to like start to make documentaries on like pedophilia just like somehow like ends up overdosing? And also, okay, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy though. The fucking personal trainer with Kanye giving him the 2 options. I'm sorry if that doesn't like freak you the
What?
fuck out.
I don't
That is
know.
an admittance of like straight MK Ultra. Like the personal trainer, dude, I was like reading deep into this. He literally texted him.
Hold
and
on,
was
I don't
like,
know any start from square one because I don't know anything.
okay, like
about
I
it.
guess there's like a personal trainer. He was like texting Kanye and he was like, bro, you basically have two decisions. Like we come like pick you up. Like obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about either, so don't quote me. But he was like basically we come pick you up, we like help you, like whatever, we're gonna like and like or we're just gonna like literally drug your fucking brain until you're like fried. And what's crazy is I was like, wait, that literally is MK Ultra. Like, don't you see when all these celebrities start losing their minds? Then it turns out that that personal trainer was the personal trainer of all these celebrities that overdose. We're talking about like, fuck, what's her?
This is gonna
Britney,
make a lit podcast
Amy,
in 10 years.
Dude, I mean,
True crime podcast.
Dude,
about
I'm
the-
just saying that was one of the craziest texts I've ever seen. I have screenshots of it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you need to send that because I don't know anything about it. They hid that one well.
And also the okay, can we talk about the Balenciaga stuff real quick?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I am finally at the point where I truly believe like music, like a lot of music, very satanic. It's weird. You watch these celebrities, they go in and they're so like sweet and like nice, and then they get deep into these like film and music, and then they get very like demonic. They start to look crazy. It's like then like Britney, they start to be all like fried and fucked up and weird. But it's just like so weird because I'm like the Balenciaga thing is like I think all these big brands, like everything's planned, and I think they've just been doing it so subtly, laughing in our faces, and now I think they're finally just seeing how far they could push it to be like, yeah, no, we like literally fuck kids, and we like are this is like all planned, and we've just been pushing it, and you make us all millions of dollars by buying our shitty things, and like you finally just started to catch on.
Balenciaga is the most hideous brand ever.
It's disgusting. I don't own anything from them.
It looks, well, not only is their company disgusting now,
Yeah.
but the actual, I mean, they're selling a t-shirt that says Balenciaga
Yeah.
for $600. And then, did you see the thing I posted with the bitch with the pants around her head?
No.
Oh, it's dope.
I mean, I just don't like designer brands in general.
It was called a jean pant shirt or something like that.
It's so ugly. It's just like, who's this for?
It was literally, so if you chop off the pants right here, and then you have, I can't, I just gotta, I'll post it. Go to my Instagram and look for it.
Don't worry,
It's-
we will
it's-
find it.
It's there, yeah.
I'm just saying, I just think everything is just starting to come into the open finally. And you're just like, okay, so yeah, film industry, kind of just pedophiles, politics, music, satanic cults, all this. I think they just laughed in our faces for so long, and now it's finally starting to come out, and they can't even deny it. But here's the thing, 90% of people don't know, don't care, and they're still going to buy their shit.
Well, and I think, ironically, you need to be naive to it to be recruited.
Yeah.
So I think for the fact that we're blowing our lid about it, or that we're blowing the lid about it,
Yeah,
we're
they're
never
not going to like come to us and be like, do you
I
guys want to
know.
like work on our next campaign?
We're really fucking up right
Yeah,
now.
like I think we just need to put more children in bondage and then more documents. And then I think we can go from there.
Yeah, because I had my next book idea to where it's gonna be about my journey of becoming a lizard person.
Yeah.
Where it was gonna be a fiction book, but I'm hoping it can be autobiographical.
Okay.
Where I just want to tell my journey about how I joined the Illuminati. So
I'm not joking. I'm like one bad day away from being like, fuck it, Scientology, I'm in. I just want to see what it's about.
you want it? We should go undercover.
Should we at least just go do the free trial run where you sit in the movie theater?
Yeah, and like you hold they measure your thetan level.
Yeah. I'm kind of down for that. Because like I'm just like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, my last name is Smith. I might be a descendant of the Joseph Smith. I mean, look how pasty I am. Come on.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I'm just interested. But I
Yeah.
don't want them harassing me and telling me to kill myself outside my house all day like they do to everyone that like tries to leave.
That is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is something you got to be worried about.
Also, this is really random, but I'm like fascinated right now with the like assisted suicide in Canada. That's just like not being really talked about, but being like heavily promoted and like.
What are the circumstances? Do you have to be chronically ill or anything like that?
Okay,
or-
Canada's like fucked. Like fuck Canada.
Go on.
Like I don't know how to like. We were getting into this last night. Obviously, it was probably more entertaining, like 6 drinks deep. But I'm like, first of all, just ran by the biggest piece of shit. That guy is such a fucking weak, disgusting excuse for a fucking man and so gross and lizard-like. I can't with him. Like literally as he's like fucking his people over so bad. He's like, oh yeah, I really care about people in China. And I'm like, weren't you like blocking like
Yeah.
people's bank accounts? You were the
Yeah.
most anti-free speech. He is horrible.
He's a cuck.
Horrible. No, he fucking is. Literally, he's that definition.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, that's like one thing. Then it's like they're like promoting suicide extremely heavily. And then it said like 10,000 people last year alone like they like helped kill themselves. I'm like, oh, so you're just like blatantly trying to help kill your own people. That's kind of gnarly.
Yeah, I would like to know what the circumstances are because
Yeah.
I know they do assisted suicide in.
No, I'm not talking like 90-year-olds that have cancer and they're in pain. Like one person's like son was like approved because he like had like depression, and like it's really scary that they're not trying to hide it anymore. They're just like, yeah, let us help
It's
you
not
die.
even. It's not even like computing in my brain right now.
It's really crazy. That was the one thing. I got to look more into it, but it's a lot of people have been starting to talk about it because they don't want you to put on the death certificate that it was like assisted suicide. So they don't actually know the numbers of how many it is, but they think it's around 10 to 15,000, which is such a high number.
So what would they get from that? This kind of reminds me of the flat Earth.
I just think depopulation.
So,
just slowly, like, you know what? That depression is bad. Let us just take it off your hands. Let's just more seed oils, more birth control,
more seed oil.
more fucking.
That's my favorite conspiracy right now is the seed oil.
Oh, come on. How's that a conspiracy?
I mean, well, I guess it's not a conspiracy because I've heard plenty of reputable, even though they call it
dude.
cuckoo.
Come on.
But
it makes sense. Same with like sunscreen. It's like we like now skin cancer is like
with sunscreen though.
I don't wear sunscreen. Now skin cancer is like through the roof. And it's like it all makes sense. Like, okay, me and my girlfriends were talking about this the other night. It's kind of crazy that we're at the point where no matter how off the grid we are, does not matter. I could do everything in the world, like no seed oils, no birth control, just no self-tan, no makeup, nothing. But it like everything around us is slowly killing us. So what do we do?
Party like it's 1999. I don't have an answer, you know?
Let's go to fucking Soho House tonight. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down in flames. I'm gonna have fun fucking doing it. We were like, it's kind of crazy though. Because women's infertility is starting to be something even I'm like noticing. It's getting really hard for women to get pregnant because we're putting so much shit into our bodies every day.
So you think it's environmental?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's also like...
It's definitely not the V word. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, even after trials came out, that says it definitely has to do with it. That's crazy. I know that you can't talk about.
Did you hear about... I wanted to ask you about this. Did you hear about the Tampax outrage?
God, I saw a tweet, but then I just continued living my life. What was it?
It was... And I'm speaking on this because I'm trying to get... Have you seen my day 1, day 2 as man?
I like those.
Yeah, thank you.
I like those.
I've been working very hard on those.
You got 363 more days.
Yeah, I'm trying to get sponsored by Tampax in my transition of being a man because I identify as a trans man now.
Yeah.
And so somebody tweeted... No, Tampax, the actual Tampax company... They always tweet these funny things like Lil Miss thinks her period is over after 2, like just funny girly shit, you know, stuff I would never, you know, yeah, sure.
Who the fuck is following Tampax on Twitter?
Who the fuck cares what their Twitter says? But anyways, so they tweeted, you're in her DMs, we're in her, we're not the same. Gross joke, I'll admit.
First of all, I like it.
It's a joke.
Funny.
It's a joke.
It's fucking funny.
Like some intern probably came up with it. They were
It's
laughing
all
about
interns.
it.
That's what I love about Twitter. It's just all like interns just tweeting shit, being like, hope I
least-
keep my job.
At least that's what they say. And if I were the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, I would be running the
wasn't me.
Twitter. Then as soon as they do bad, I'd be like, blame the kid in the mail.
Yeah.
But so people were talking about how it's transphobic for one, which I couldn't put. That was
okay.
Exactly. That was what inspired me.
Do I need to say anything?
Yes, say a lot.
God, you know when they say half the population's really dumb and the other half is even dumber? That's how I feel. Transphobic? Everyone can shove tampons up their ass if they feel like it. What do you mean?
And basically misogynistic. And it basically, the big point was that it was sexualizing women, right? That it was taking a feminine hygiene product.
Like, this stresses me out.
And so that it was sexualizing women. And so I read that. I'm like, okay, now we're deciding this is where we're sexualizing women. I went to this little beauty pageant thing with my sister, and they literally put fucking numbers on the women. All these women had a number on them, right? Like some fucking cattle.
I love toddlers and tiaras. It's so dark to me. It's so fucking crazy.
And now it's like,
let's dress them up like little hookers.
It's so
make them walk on a stage. It's so dark.
It's so fucked up. And the whole thing, or like, you know, Cardi B throwing her WAP around, 6-year-olds listening to it. Like, now we're worried about.
First of all, no one sexualizes women more than women, I think.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this first thing, if a girl wants to attack another girl, first thing she's going to do is attack her looks. Or like you're saying, some chick was like, oh, bitch, where's your husband?
Yeah.
You know, it's never anything character related. It's
No.
always...
That's the thing. No one ever attacks well, they attack my content sometimes, but it's usually my looks, which I like, because then it goes, ooh, fuck, I won, because they couldn't attack what I was saying. And I like that.
Yeah.
Tampax should just sponsor
Me.
like, me. It's so funny. I think of like, okay, if I were to have sponsorships, like what would they be? Like who the fuck?
It does. It gets sticky once you get into this. And this is what I'm talking about. This is where I should have went the DC Drano route.
Yeah.
I should have posted videos of Trump. Then like, oh, watch this video. There's music behind him. How inspirational.
Yeah.
Or videos of Mike Pence running. Be like, this man never runs out of energy. I
God,
should have
Mike
been
Pence
doing
is
that.
Mike Pence is like such a piece of shit.
They're all pieces
human.
of shit.
I don't know why. Something about him. I've always heard bad things my whole life, and I never knew,
He's
I
a
never
lizard.
knew what was true or not. But like, oh God, he's like one of those people. I'm like, you are gross. You are
Yeah.
a gross person. He's
He's the type where he like
disgusting.
hits himself over the back with
Yeah.
the belt when he's jerking off and stuff. Like he's just that type.
He's fucking gross. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't even like know anything about you. I've like probably never even read something correct. Just don't fucking like you. You know what I did like though? Was Ulta, the makeup company, did a podcast with two men about what womanhood and what it's like to be a woman. Also, what's the deal with the trans dude that works for Biden that does like nuclear fucking energy or something, who like stole a suitcase? And then also like I've seen photos of him just like bondage up, just like getting his asshole blown open. Is that not like, are we a serious country anymore at all?
You know Fleckas, right?
Yes.
So-
Love him.
Yeah, I love those guys. They God, who was it? One of the big government accounts. They posted something. Then Fleckas, but it was the top comment because he started calling him the nuclear twink.
Oh my, love him.
And so the top comment was like, they are saying, I think it was kind of biting off how Trump would be like, the people are saying, even
Yeah.
though Trump's the only one saying it.
Yeah. Even though
So-
it's like, it's just you. Who are
Yeah.
you speaking on behalf of?
So I was dying. I was crying, laughing. Fleckas' comment was, they are calling him the nuclear twink. I was howling.
How do other countries perceive us?
Oh, we're
Like,
fucking
how the
morons.
Wait, also, it's like,
And
why
this-
do we elect like the ugly? If people are just gonna be insane, can we not elect like the ugliest group of people on the fucking planet to run our country? Like, you see that bitch in LA who's like the head of health? She literally looks like she is like a decrepit, dying, pale, sick woman. And I'm like, why are you dictating my health? Like, everyone's ugly. I'm like, if we're just gonna have awful people, can we just at least like make them attractive so other countries are like, all right, well, they're awful, but at least they're not bad to look at. It's like, and then the trans military, it's like, they're the most fucked up group of people physically I've ever seen in my life. How the fuck were they not like beat up enough in high school to like maybe normalize a bit? Like, how did they get into these positions of power? How are people not like looking at them like, you're kind of fucking weird and you're like ugly and you probably shouldn't have like a platform to say things. And you shouldn't be like posting butt plugs while you're like representing the United States of fucking America.
Did you hear the nuclear twink stole somebody's luggage?
That's the thing. It's like,
Zer was at the airport and saw some ladies like Louis Vuitton luggage.
does he not make money?
I don't know.
Are
like,
these people not getting paid?
You work directly for the president. You're out here stealing suitcases. That is hysterical.
And what's crazy, you're probably
love
not
it.
even like gonna like you're like, if you're on the left, you can do anything. Like, you won't even like lose your
Right.
job. Wasn't Homeboy like jerking off on Zoom? That's like a Democrat too, and like he's still perfectly fine.
I don't know. Fuck it. I'm a Democrat. I want to start doing fun shit. I want to
I
start.
was gonna say, honestly, we should just like go
We're-
super fucking like blue
Yeah,
pills.
this is gonna be blue next time. This fucking thing is gonna be blue.
I'm just gonna
I'm
chop my hair
done.
off.
I'm done with getting in trouble with whatever. I can't work in corporate America ever again.
Honestly,
I'm
you know what?
done.
I thought you know what's funny too? It's a good lesson. I thought the satisfaction over preaching common sense the past 2 years, everyone would come back to me because people just
Oh,
frolic
hell
my way.
no.
I thought I
Hell
would feel
no.
so good about myself because everyone's like, oh my God, Emily, you were right about everything. I go, no, I fucking still hate all you guys.
Well,
I don't feel good.
Has anybody came out and said, "Oh, you know what? I was wrong"?
No.
No.
They go, you were right, but they don't ever say they were
So,
wrong.
I'm gonna say some real sexist stuff, and I don't care.
Love it.
So,
I love when men degrade me.
we are in a relationship. The United States is in a relationship, right?
Okay.
The Republicans, or not even Republicans and Democrats, let's get away from parties. Let's just
Yeah.
talk about ideology in
Yeah.
general. The right is the masculine energy, and then the left is the feminine energy.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
We are turning into a happy wife, happy life country,
Yeah.
where one side If the woman beats the shit out of you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, if you punch a woman, you're a piece of shit, you go to jail. That just is what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's so when the left, when there's political violence, it's like, okay, whatever. Because it's as soon as you get the right wing extremists, that's when it gets scary because those
Yeah.
are actually the big, like, you know, testosterone filled fucking like
Yeah.
Heil Hitler type guys. But the left with this feminine energy, and I swear this is the best comparison I've ever came up with in my life. Women won't admit when they're wrong. When you're arguing with your girlfriend, you might as well not, because even if you're factually correct, you're not going to
Oh.
win the fucking argument.
No.
You're just going to be miserable for the
Yeah.
rest of the day.
You're
And-
just not gonna get laid.
The left is not going to yeah.
you're just not gonna get laid.
Yeah, and so the left isn't going to come around and say, "Oh no, you know, we were really wrong about
No,
these
that'll
things."
never happen.
They're just going to prevent you from, instead of you not getting laid, they're going to just fuck you in life. They're
Yeah.
going to get you fired from your job and do whatever
Yeah,
else
they're
you
gonna
go
ruin
against them.
everything around you till you're like, fuck.
Yeah, they are petty, and that's my favorite word. I call myself Lord Petty, but the left, they're
I'm
very
so petty.
Yeah, see, I want to flip the stigma
love
with
it.
that word. It's kind of like how based. People really misuse the word based, by the way.
Yeah,
I
they
could,
do.
I could go into it doesn't.
Now it's kind of annoying. Now I kind of like cringe even when I say it. Sometimes I'm like, ew, I sound like such a fucking dipshit.
Yeah, it's not right-wing ideology. That's what people get really
Yeah.
fucked up. It comes from a rapper in the Bay Area in 2009. His name was Lil B the Bass God. He came out, he pretended that he was basically gay. He made an album called I'm Gay because he wanted to break the
Tight.
stigma
God,
of
things used to be so much cooler,
he was just a troll. He was
Yeah.
rapping off beat. He was wearing women's clothes.
which we respect.
and,
All trolls.
but his songs all about talking about bitch suck my dick, this and that. But then his interviews he'd be like, yeah, I'm just about positivity. He was just a troll. Everything
That's
about him was just absolutely
That's
trolling.
what, we should just say
And-
wild shit and then in interviews be like just talking about like energy and crystals the whole time.
Yeah, that was his whole thing. And so the term based was him, you know, he called himself the bass guy, was saying,
Yeah.
just do what you want, just be nice to people, be happy, think for yourself, and
Yeah.
don't attach. Because he was a rapper. He didn't want to be this like big, you know, he didn't want to talk about killing people. He didn't want to,
Yeah.
he didn't want to do these things. And so when the term spilled into politics, now you're going against the narrative, but just because you're going against the leftist, lunatic, woke narrative
Yeah.
doesn't mean you need to
Well, we're forgetting anything politics takes in, it ruins. So anything cool it even might bring in, it's just going to eventually tarnish anyways.
Right, but so the term based, it's being misused because it means thinking for yourself.
Yes.
Like if you're a stern Republican, you can't budge on anything. You're not based, bro. You're just a conservative. You're not
yeah, you're like
based.
ironically not thinking for yourself.
Exactly.
You're having a party think for you and you're just part of that party.
That was the big, I would get so annoyed. There's two things that really annoy me when I try to explain to my parents what I do and then they tell me that like Shucks Auto Parts is hiring or something. And
You're like, don't worry, I'll be there in a couple months. Don't worry, as soon as this launches, I'm going to be there anyways.
And yeah, no, I don't think they would even hire me. They would dig this up. And
Yeah.
the other one is, oh, when people were insulting me, they're like, oh, you're not even a real conservative. It's like, yeah, you're right.
You're
Um,
right.
I'm me, bro.
That's when people are like, you're not a part of our party. You're not conservative. You're just a slut. Okay. Fuck, man. Can't really argue with that, can you?
Yeah,
I'm like also just like at the point now too where it was funny. Even my dad was like, "Oh, you know, be careful what you say. Like all your Jewish friends are gonna be mad at you." And I'm like, okay, I can't repeat this anymore. I don't need to. We can just like acknowledge what's happening and not have opinions on things. I can just be like, I like Kanye West. I'm gonna listen to his music. Does he say fucked up things? That's fine. I don't like have his like fucking cock in my mouth as I'm like he's like reading me Mein Kampf. It's like I don't have to like have like a stable opinion, and like we also can stop like making these people like I don't know how to like say it. It's just like I'm just tired of like the opinions. I don't care if you're just gonna ask my opinion on anything anymore. I don't care. And if you hate me because I don't hate him, then you're fucking insane too.
it does get muddy trying to separate the person from the product, though, because, for instance, let's say you really
Because
like,
I can.
Well, but let's say you really like Balenciaga sneakers, right?
Yeah.
And you're wearing them right now. It would still, I mean, if I see anybody wearing Balenciaga right now, I'm kind of okay. Well, you're
I'm not gonna lie. We went out last night and the girl was wearing a Balenciaga bag, and I was like, fucking respect. Because I'm like, I'm with her. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If I had something, I wouldn't go throw it away.
I mean, I doubt she even knows, you know, or I don't know this girl.
Probably
but-
not.
Yeah.
And that's probably why she's so sweet and nice. And I enjoyed hanging out with her so much because she probably doesn't know. She probably doesn't fucking care. And in the bigger picture, who fucking cares?
But I do think fashion and music are two different things because the
Yeah.
music you listen to is for yourself. And
Yeah.
of course, the things you wear, well, this would open up a whole nother can of worms, which we don't have time for. But you're making a statement with the things that you're
Yeah.
wearing, right? I mean, I obviously am making a statement that I sell Cadillacs or something. I don't know, so stupid.
I'm making some statement.
Yeah, I don't know what the statement is.
That's why
but
I
I'm
just wear
making one.
black. I feel like I just wear all black no matter what. I feel like it's the most like I don't care, and I'm not gonna wear like a fucking logo because I'm not a fucking
Yeah.
Armenian in Glendale
Yeah, I don't like
with
wearing
a 3 Series, so I don't need to wear a fucking Versace T-shirt.
exactly. I don't like wearing brand names. It's like
No.
why people should be paying me. You know, it's not like the race car drivers are paying the sponsors.
With
Be like,
that said, send me things and I will wear them if you pay me.
exactly. Exactly. I'm not gonna show any sort of brands.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of fucking idiot am I to go buy some designer shit and then be like, oh, look at me, I'm
Well,
wearing
that's how
Gucci.
politicians should be. They were like, it should be like NASCAR, where like everyone they're sponsored by, they just wear all their badges, like fucking, Pfizer, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Yes.
that would actually be amazing.
I heard a really cool. I don't know if it's much of a finance buddy of mine, a guy named John. He's a good guy, but he was saying that rich people just go out rich people go out and buy fake designer brands because they know nobody will question them, and that is smart.
That's what I do.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
DHgate.
What's the difference?
Because no one's going to look at me and be like, oh my God. And also, why the fuck do I care? And then that way, when it gets stolen, when I'm walking down the street of Los Angeles, I won't have to be too upset about it. But you know what? Now that Karen Bass is in charge, I'm sure everything is going, we're going to heal. We're
gonna
healing.
heal.
This country's healing. I feel it. When we're not getting slaughtered on the streets, I feel like we're finally healing.
Well, everybody, I would say go out and do something nice for somebody. Try to be a good person. Am I looking in the wrong camera? I am looking in the wrong camera. Go out and do something nice. Fuck the lizard people, unless you are a lizard person. Call me because I want to join. Emily,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming by again. You're becoming I'm trying to like coax you into being my co-host.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We would crush.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing the damn thing. Look at 2 episodes deep. I think we had another good one, right?
Yeah. You just have to genuinely like the person you're talking to.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
good shit. I'm glad you don't hate me. Any
I'm like, fucking I was about to say something
Suit-
so bad.
Say it.
Nothing. I wouldn't because I don't mean it.
All right. Well, you guys, please like, rate, subscribe. Go buy my book and go follow us. Follow me on Instagram at Lord Petty, on Twitter at Lord Petty underscores in both of those. Follow Emily at Emily Saves America, and check out my other podcast just called Lord Petty. And what am I forgetting? That's
And,
Showbiz, baby.
Yeah. That's it. Have fun.
Shout out to lizard people.
Bum
Wow.
fights.
Bum fights.
I don't know why. My dad always talks about bum fights.